So in the beginning of this scene, we have Luke, the leader of the fishes, leading Key away off into the background. There's a hospital sign above the character with the gun on the right side.
And then based on how the camera's moving in this part of the scene, it makes it seem as if the camera is actually a person in the scene as well.
Yeah, the camera following the same path really helps the viewer feel like they're in the scene, and the shakiness makes you also feel like you are running with Theo.
It's interesting, too, that Theo and the other members of this group tend not to utilize weaponry, and so I think that also allows for you to view it in a passive manner.
And you really empathize with the characters, because not all of us would feel comfortable picking up a gun and shooting someone.
And then at this point, on the bottom left was a lamb, and later in the scene there will be more animals too, and it kind of says something about maybe like a reference to Jesus or something like that being born in the manger.
Yeah, there are a lot of biblical references and references to animals throughout this. During this shot, you can actually see some color on the blankets, and then you have color literally put on the shot in the form of blood splatters on the camera.
Absolutely, and that continues just to lend itself again with the idea of this being a first-person point of view.
Another thing worth noting is that even up to this point, we haven't had a cut since Key was taken away. This really shows how focused Theo is on making sure that he rescues Key. Here you see some people trying to surrender but are gunned down, and it really emphasizes the hostility of the situation that Theo finds himself in. And now with the explosion, he uses that as cover. It's a diegetic sound. He uses that not only as sound cover but as visual cover to get into the building. And the ringing in his ears is playing over right now. It's another reinforcement of the viewer being in the scene.
And then here, playing off the lambs we saw earlier, you're now seeing chickens, and there is going to be goats coming up here soon.
Again, we see the animal motif played out again with humans in close proximity to animals.
There's also an interesting theory about how animals in the film represent children, in the sense of, although it wasn't shown in the same clip, there's a woman in a red coat who's carrying a dog similar to how someone would carry a child, and it's kind of espoused throughout the movie.
This type of shot occurred earlier, just previously, and it's a leading shot. The down the hallway shot lets the viewer know that there is going to be motion and action occurring down that hallway. And as we see, it leads Theo into Key's room.